Oh, welcome. You know, I get a lot of questions on my finishing method, and it's really simple. Simple is better. It takes 1 quart of dope, unthinned. So you're going to get a quart like this, fill it all the way to the top. Then you're going to get another quart jar and pour it half into that. So you got 2 half quarts. Fill one up with thinner and the other one up to about there with thinner, and add your base color, white in this instance. So we got this. Now this seems to yield the lightest finish because you're tinting the wood and tissue all the way up. If you'll notice here, it has a kind of a white hue to it. It's not bright white or anything like that. It's just white-ish. So 3 coats of dope on the raw wood, minimum. 4 if necessary. You want to get kind of a shine on it. I need to move that. That's what's happening. And that's so that the tissue sticks to the wood. Now, I use double aught tissue. You can use what you want. You can use polyspan, Japanese tissue, GM silk span, whatever. It doesn't matter. And we need to. So then it's apply the tissue. Like I showed you last night, I have many wing, how to apply silk span videos on the channel. Real simple. You don't really care what it looks like at that time. Like this, I got wrinkles all over it, and I try to get it on as best as possible. Wet it, and pull the wrinkles out, and dope it down with 3 coats of dope, which we have on this, which it looks to me is not going to be quite enough. So we're going to need a sand out. I usually put 2 or 3 coats on before I sand it. I need to put some tissue in the bottom of the cockpit here so we get a nice finish inside the cockpit. I need to do a little bit of woodwork left. I got to put in the wing fairings on this. But seeing that there's so many questions about finishing, I figured I would answer any questions you have on my finishing method. The thing that I most can explain to you about finishing lies right here. It's the sandpaper. Anybody can brush the paint on, and anybody can spray the paint on, but you better be willing to sand if you want a really nice finish. There's more sanding. There's more work to finishing than there is to building, depending on the type finish you want. We also need to cut our plywood turnouts for the fillets on the leading edge. So I'm I guess let's do some woodwork because we can let that dope dry. I put a coat of dope on this before we went online because obviously we're not going to stay and watch dope dry. But, you know, use your fingers. I can feel there's a lot of bumps and stuff in it. You can feel it better than you can see it. I just knocked the rocks off that. We're trying to bring this substrate up to look like plastic. It will start to have a sheen on it. And that's when you know you got enough dope on it. Now this is a 180 grit. I'm just going over the big wrinkles and stuff to knock the wrinkles off. Not really pushing and trying to. If you're shaping here, it's not right. You got to have the shaping done before the tissue goes on. All you're trying to do is get the tissue flat. Now I did have a problem right here. Let me switch camera angles. And I'll tell you how to get over that problem. Okay, we need to zoom out, I suppose. Right in here, I could not get the tissue to stick. It wouldn't stick down. And the reason for that is that there wasn't enough dope under the tissue. So how do you get it to stick down? Well, I took a razor blade and I cut some slits in it and I shot dope in behind it. And then worked it in with my fingers till it was flat. You can see the seam right there where it's overlapping, which is not a big deal because that's 180. That there is, oh, here it is. Because we're going to feather it out. So I'll feather it out with this 320. It'll get another coat of dope over the whole airplane. I need to start checking the weight to see how much I've come up, how much all this rigmarole has added. Not quite dry enough to do this, but as John would say, quit aggravating the paint. See right there, I knocked some loose paper off, which is okay. You see underneath there, right under that right there, I've knocked loose paper off. You don't want anything loose. Because if you put any tape on that right there, it'll pull it right off, and that will be the disaster. That will be the disaster you don't want. So that's, so maybe, you know, it's just kind of back and forth to get things right. There's paper on the fiberglass. I always paper over the fiberglass for the simple fact that in the sun, the paint shrinks and you can see the cloth underneath the paint and it looks like crap. You don't have to. It will, you know, be all right. It won't show grain, but it will show the cloth under it. This will be a short video because it's all sanding. I mean, there'll be several hours of sanding to get this ready for paint. And in my younger days, I could be ready for paint by tomorrow, but we won't be. I ain't staying up till 3 o'clock in the morning. And if I had to, I could, but I don't have to. So I'm looking all better. I don't know if it'll show, but if you look right there, you see that wrinkle right there? What I'm trying to do is get the whole fuselage to look like that, a milky white. And then goes on another coat of clear and sand it with 400. This is 320. We'll sand it with 400 and it should have a shine to it. And that's when the paint goes on. And it's one coat of color, and then your trim colors, and then that first coat of clear, or first jar of clear that I had you mix up is your top coat. Now, does this method yield a 20-point finish? Well, that all depends on your woodwork, but I would say no. A 20-point finish is going to be a half a gallon of clear top coat. Minimum. Half a gallon of clear top coat, or a pint and a half of spray shine, which is heavier. We might get the fillets tonight. I don't know. That looks pretty good there. That looks pretty good. Here needs a little bit more tissue. I got a bare spot here. Would it really matter? Probably not, because it's on the glass, but we're trying to make this model extra special, so I'll go ahead and fix that. I'm going to fix all the spots. So what I think is going to happen with this airplane, it's going to get a coat of white after I get it all done. Get a coat of white. Then I'm going to go around with the acrylic green and fix all the spots, all the little dingers. And then give it another coat of white and then put the yellow on. So I need a piece of silk span in here. Hey, Joe, Merry Christmas. There's a St. Louis guy. Used to be. He's seen some of my airplanes in person. So we got a wrinkle right there. I need to get that off. That came off. I think we might put some acrylic green on that before I shoot that canopy area. Merry Christmas. It ain't time yet. We'll be doing a Christmas show because I don't have a life. Man, oh man. A good paint job is not about what you put on, but what you sand off. The spot right there. Lots of spots. Lot of spots. Might have a spot right there that's loose. Maybe not. Hey, Gary. I don't believe there's enough dope on that because it's fuzzing out pretty good. Let's see how much paint I put on this thing so far. That gal's stuck. Get off there. And this cowl is ready for tissue. It's got lots of shine on it, so that's good. Apples to apples. Not that much, but anywhere between 3/4 of an ounce and an ounce for the tissue on the fuselage and all the dope I've painted on so far. Now, let me show you how your woodwork should look before you tissue. You see how shiny this cowl is? Now this has been glassed and doped. So we're going to add tissue to it, and there's enough dope on this that the tissue will stick. Well, I'll be here another half hour. Let's see what this cowl weighs. Normally my cowls weigh an ounce. That's just what they weigh. This one weighs 0.9. So with the dope on it, it'll be an ounce. So this is acceptable. And if you're running any more than 1/4 ounce for the rudder, 3 ounces for the stabilizer and elevator, including hinges and horn, 3 ounces for a crutch's weight is normal, but I try to get them about 1 3/4 or under 2 ounces. Fuselage should be at 7 ounces. Wing should be 11.5 to 12 ounces. These flaps are a little bit heavy. I didn't have quite the wood I wanted, but my flaps normally weigh between 1/2 ounce and 3/4 of an ounce. If you got them more than that, the airplane's going to be too heavy. You can build it any way you like. If you like heavy airplanes, knock yourself out. But once you fly a light airplane, you'll think, wow, what a difference that is. Now, if you listen to this, that's rough. And we're going to sand it until you can't hear it. And we'll go back to this camera. You can, that's rough. Don't want to poke a hole in my wing. So far, I've been really lucky on this airplane. There have been, I won't even say it. I just got to watch the wing. I'll let you know after it's done. Wingtip should be no more than 1/2 ounce. Now, some have asked, why do I leave my flat fillets off? It's easier to tissue and easier to sand. Till after it's finished out. Do stuff to make it easy on yourself. Hey, Kevin. This is 320. After I gets another coat of dope, we'll get it with 400. Really don't matter what paper you start with, as long as you end up smooth. You know, because I start with 30 grit, so 36 grit. You kind of use the grits of the sandpaper to your advantage. You know, you don't want to be. I certainly wouldn't want to be hollowing something out with 600 grit sandpaper. Shit, it would take a lifetime to get it hogged out. I would like to I do not take Venmo. I don't have a Venmo account. I probably should get one, but if you'd rather mail a check, send me a message on Stun Hanger. I'll give you my address. What I need to do is get a Bitcoin account. I just don't know enough about it. Well, this is my plan to work on this till the first of the year. And just like I normally did, you know, when I built that 11-day Aries. I'll work on this and get it painted up over the holidays, and then we'll start really getting after it after the first of the year. I figure it's going to be at least a week more of sanding. I know that's not what you guys want to hear, but Yep, there's a lot of work to do. You guys enjoy this type of content where I'm standing? I can't see it. But... Back in the days of DC 540, this would be so much faster, but it's heavier. I'd put a DC 540 on this and stand it out and have it ready to spray tonight. But now it's junk, so you can't do that. You know, I might call Sherwin-Williams again, Pennsylvania. See if they got a suggestion for me. That primer with aromatic distillants does not work. Gotta have xylene, propane, MEK, toluene. Maybe I can talk to the chemist. Because I got a gallon of primer down there, and I bought a gallon of xylene, and I mixed the two together, and that is not the answer. I thought the xylene was the magic ingredient in that, but xylene is not that hot a thinner, so it's got to be the MEK. I guess I could buy a gallon of MEK tomorrow and give that a whirl. See if I can make that shit work. Oh yeah, finish takes way longer time than building. You want a nice finish. I could build this airplane start to finish, cut everything from scratch in 40 hours. You couldn't finish it in 40 hours. No, you could. It wouldn't look like much. Yep, you could, but it wouldn't look like much. Yeah. The airplane I'm building, I think we're going to call the Sizzler. It's a generic airplane. It's just something that I've come up with. But I think it's going to be called the Sizzler. There's nothing on paper, nothing like that. But I think it's a pretty good looking airplane. I'll give you a side view of what it looks like. Of course, it'll fit better than that when I get ready to fit it. You know, all this stuff works. It don't matter what it looks like. All this stuff works. How many ways can you put a wing, elevator, stabilizer, and fuselage together? One. So they're all the same. I need to go back and make a playlist for this airplane. What in the fuck? Get on there. There it is. There we go. That's what it looks like. If you watch how I did it, I just laid it out on the wood and I made the rudder. I drew the rudder and I said, no, that ain't it. That don't look right. And so then I did that rudder and then I made it bigger and just put it together. The paint job is going to be white because we're going to put white underneath everything. The back half is going to be yellow. The center half will be orange, and then the red will kind of melt into it. Same on the tail. Then we're going to have some streaks of that green in there, and it's going to have gold leaf letters on it. Sizzler. I can see it in my head already. I can't explain it. Yes, Super Tiger 60. It's all I fly anymore. I got two. No, that's a lie. I got a Nobler. I got a Tucker. So those are 35 size airplanes. I have my Viper profile with the Super Tiger 46 and a Continental with a 46. Everything else I got is 60s. 60s and up. You know, one thing I didn't look at is I got the lemon yellow end for this, and I didn't see what it looks like. A gallon of clear. That's the worst thing that was ever invented is them packing peanuts. What a mess. So this is the color the main body is going to be. And it's pretty yellow. A little dot on top of this. I might take this to the paint store and have them shake it for me. What do you think? That's pretty yellow. I use Randolph products. And if you buy from Wix Aircraft, you get a discount if you use the code STUNT10. Get 10% off. Yeah, I'm happy with that color. So we use that. I'll use Aranca Orange and Stunhanger Red. I got a gallon of Stunhanger Red we still need to use up. And you say, well, what is Stunhanger Red? Well, it's kind of a secret. They mixed me some paint one time and used the wrong stuff, and it turned out really good. All I can see is a lot of work. There's the dope I use right there, Randolph. There's all the colors. Of course, then I also mix my own stuff up too. And it's pretty expensive to do. It costs $50 just for the pigment. Then you got to add the dope to that. So if you go back on the Simply Blues paint job, I mixed that magenta, had that magenta mixed to match sign painter's paint at Sherman-Williams. I said, mix me some of this pigment, and then I poured that into A1690 crystal clear non-tautening dope. We got that maroon or the magenta. Let's add some paper inside here. Yep, everything's got to have a finish on it. My secret stash of silk span. So we need a piece that's same width. Yeah, we got 6 minutes left on this stream. You guys learn anything on this? Hopefully I explained the finishing process good enough. I think I want to tissue the inside of that too. Now, does this have to be tissued in here? No, but like I said, I'm going to the extra mile on this model so that the judges can't go, hey, what are you going to do about that? Not a damn thing. That turned out pretty good. The dashboard is a piece of the decal, so we don't need to worry about the front. Give my pilot a good seat to sit on here. $17 for the pilot for this thing. That's what the Williams Brothers pilot cost me. $17. I bought the sixth scale, the little bit bigger guy. I mean, I got Errol Flynn and the flip-off pilot and all that, but I want the same one that's in my Monauta. I'm going to put headset on him and glasses and detail him up real good. You know, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it. Did you? Yes, I applied clear coats in there. No, I got 3 coats of dope on the wood. Then the tissue went on. I got 3 coats of tinted clear on this now, and I'm sanding it in till it's perfectly smooth. I'll probably put another couple coats of the clear tinted. This is not white paint. This is clear dope with white pigment in it. That way it takes less paint to cover this because it's already white or getting close to white. So it'll take that much in the bottom of a quart mason jar to dust the white on this. It'll be white, and then I'll put the same amount of yellow on it. If it was dark, it would be hard to cover. So if you hold my airplanes up to the light, you can see right through the wings. I mean, not like transparent, but it's not very opaque. It's really light paint on there. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again so everybody gets it. The second heaviest thing on this airplane besides the engine is the paint. I think it's going to be time for some new thinner in my brush cleaning jar. I'm not sure why, that by the time I get a decent a number of guys come on, it's the end of the video. Why do you guys do that? Wait till the last minute. Probably not your fault, probably YouTube. But I can't hang for hours and hours and hours anymore. If they'd let me listen to TV or play music, I probably could do it. But to talk by yourself for an hour nonstop by yourself, try it sometimes. Tell me what you think. Pretty damn hard to do. Pretty hard to do. Anyway, this is what we got going so far. It's a whole lot more sanding going on. When I come back tonight, if I come back tonight, 8, 9 o'clock probably, we'll go ahead and add these turnouts in here, and I'll see if I can make up the filler pieces to go between the elevators and fuselage and the flaps in the fuselage. I need to make 3 more of these. They go right here. And then we got to put the fillers in the let's see, are these going to be okay? I make them the same. Yep. So I need 4 exactly the same. Well, a little wider on that. Esteban. Yeah, I normally come on the weekends, or during the week, I come on at 7 o'clock, same time as our live stream every night. And on the weekends, I come on a little earlier so that I got some rest, anywhere between 4 and 7. No, the ink I use is Gumbacher. Yeah, I understand. You want to use India ink for film, and it's Gumbacher. And there's a difference because dope is an nitrocellulose acetate, the same as film. You have to use ink for film. You don't have to, but it's the best. Got to be waterproof. Let me see if I got a number on that. Yeah, there's no part number. Now this one's for paper anyway. This works. But you try to get this for film. This will last you a lifetime. You'll be able to stripe 500 airplanes with that. Yeah. Well, you guys can always roll it back and watch, I suppose. I just have a hard time doing this all by myself. Alrighty, I'll be back on. No, maybe not. I don't know. Look for me around 8 o'clock. If I'm coming on, I'll be on. If not, well, tomorrow. Hour at a time. All right, guys, that's it for this evening. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya.